Hello everyone, my name is Micah, and in this video I want to flip through my Hobonichi journal with you, which is housed in this beautiful leather cover. And I also want to chat a little bit about some notebooks later on, so if you're in the mood for some stationery chatting, stick around after the flip through. I'm also going to talk a little bit more about this cover here, but let's get into some flipping. I'm actually gonna take the notebook out of the cover because I think that button makes a noise there in the front, and that's gonna be annoying. So this is a Hobonichi, a plain Hobonichi journal, and well, I say plain, but all I mean is that it's undated. It does have a grid, so they're not blank pages per se, and it has the Tomoya River paper. It was the first time that I used one of their notebooks. I'm usually more of a Midori fan myself, but more on that later. So yeah, I decorated the cover, quite cute. And then something else that I had done for the first time with this one is I had set some intentions for this journal because I wasn't gonna use it for just memory keeping. And I actually did that in a video. I'll have that linked down below. But I find it really helpful to have intentions for a journal. I find it way easier to stick to a journal if I've been clear with myself on what I'm using that notebook for. I don't know how you are with that, if you're more free-flowing and can just jump in and out of different notebooks. I find a little bit of clarity helpful. And so yeah, I made this cute page with these stickers from a Dodolulu PET tape, and I think that turned out so cute. I actually quite like that. Oh, and then on this beginning page here, I had stuck down, this was part of the Hobonichi pamphlet from 2022, and I thought the text was so sweet, and so I stuck that in there. So yeah, that was the beginning. And then I think this spread I also did on camera, just a sort of like currently loving page to, you know, create a snapshot of some likes of myself. So yeah, just was rereading some of my Moomin books, and was dreaming of having a house among trees, which, fun fact, we just moved into a new rental home and we have lots of trees around, so that's kind of neat. Yeah, still loving this color palette, so that's still very accurate. Still loving folksy florals, and yeah, those kind of not old-timey, but mid-century illustrations that combine colors and blocks of colors and lines. So that's kind of fun. And then here I just illustrated a quote. This was also from the Hobonichi release. I think that was inside the bag. That was the freebie, the 2023 bag. And again, I just liked it so much that I just wrote that out. And then this was the first time I ordered some ink samples. Kind of fun to see those in here. I ended up really liking the Robert Oster African Gold. This ended up being too light once I put it in a pen. Yeah, kind of fun. I mean, it's fun to have a separate ink journal, of course, and have everything together, and it makes it easier to compare colors and stuff like that. But I also think it's kind of fun to have that in just your regular journal as a sort of yeah, memento to the time that you use those colors, if that makes sense. And then, oh yeah, this spread is kind of fun. It looks almost like a magazine layout, like the big title and then some writing. I had seen a video by Meghann And The Moon, and she had talked about personal symbols for a project that she was working on. And so I had thought a little bit about what mine would be, and something that's really important to me is trees. And so I drew up a couple trees and just journaled a little bit about the importance and meaning of trees. This was for a video of mine where I did a couple fun journaling prompts, and one of them was to draw your favorite mug. And mine has lots of kitties on it. Surprise, surprise, I love cats. Yeah, so just kind of fun. All kinds of different things in here. Oh yes, and this was my first order from Baum-Kuchen, the stationery store in California. And so I swatched out, I bought these two washi tapes, and this one here at the top with the cute flowers is actually my favorite washi tape. I stick that everywhere. So yeah. And then this is their business card. And this sticker is really nice. It says, "On the quest for a life well lived and loved." Yeah, so I wanted to keep that in my journal. Yeah, and so this is an entry from October 2022. And now we are jumping to February of 2023. And so I think in between these two entries, I was working a lot in my traveler's notebook just for a change of size. And yeah, I had a lot of fun in that. And so just recently came back into the A6. I do consider A6 my comfort size for journals. It's something that I quite often return to, and that was the case here. So this is a really cute, simple page with just a quote and some decorations around it. So these, a lot of my printables are from Erin Ware, and then this flower is from Petra. I'll have her linked down below, as well as Erin Ware, of course. And then all the cats are from Cat Collage Club, which is my printable subscription. I'll have that linked down below as well. And just playing around, just getting back into the groove of A6. Kind of fun how it started as just a single page and then spread across with this cool drawing by Erin. Yeah, and then just realizing that I had become really tight with some of my other journaling I was doing in some other notebooks, and so just giving myself permission to play again, just have fun. And I think you can tell, like, the next couple pages just are fun with color, full with colors, full with just whimsical illustrations. And then, this was when I was visiting my sister and staying with her. She had her first baby, so this was me meeting my baby niece, Ellie, who's just so precious and cute, and I love her so very much. This is also a fun layout where there's just this big cluster reaching over, and that was me just reflecting on, if you're doing your own thing, if you have your own business, it's easy to feel like constantly feel like you're a failure or not doing enough or earning enough. But it's just realizing that success can also mean doing what you love. And I love what I'm doing. And so that is a success. Yeah, and then here I had some time. I was waiting on something, and so I decided to just draw a doodle. It was raining that day, and so why not just use that time to draw something in your journal? And then here is a little flippity flip, but I never ended up really filling this in. There's this book called The Strengths Finder, and these are my results from a couple years ago. I actually wonder if those are still the same, or if I took the test now, if I would get other results. Kind of interesting. But it came up in conversation with someone, and so I looked up what my results were from a couple of years ago. But yeah, and meant to, yeah, do some writing about it, but well, I guess that never happened, which is okay. Yeah, and then here, this is sort of interesting because this time I was experiencing a couple of frustrations and bad news and stuff like that. So the pages, though there's still, you know, some color and some cute cats in it and other characters that I came up with, they're a little bit more minimalistic, I guess, or a little bit more reserved, which I think was just a product of the time. And I've turned these two characters, the cat with the little girl, into a whole printable because people liked it so much when I shared it on social media. So yeah, I guess they're quite cute together. And this is Ellie when she was younger. She's so much bigger now. I have been trying to just put in photos whenever, rather than feeling like they have to be chronological. So for example, this is a picture of me and my sister from 2022. And, you know, obviously that's over a year ago, but I was, you know, staying a lot with my sister, thinking a lot about my sister. And so why not just put it in? Because in 10, 20, 40 years, when I flip through this journal, I'll just be happy to see a photo of us when we were younger, no matter if it's the same year or not, you know, and so I'm trying to embrace that a little bit more. Yeah, same with these photos. Those were not from the day I did this entry. So this is Ellie. She's so cute. Chubby, chubby, chub. Yeah, I miss her. And that's my husband with her, holding her for the first time. And then, yeah, again, coming across a quote and really loving it, so I put it in my journal. It says, "All the knowledge everyone can acquire, but my heart is all my own." That is from Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Yeah, and then going into April. Yeah, here again, a quote. I've been doing a lot of quotes recently, huh? "Trifles make the sum of life," Charles Dickens. Kind of fun. And again, some beautiful florals by Erin. And then, yeah, more simple pages, just drawing. No, oh, I guess I'm a little bit of washi. This, if I had found this beautiful box and a little moleskin journal in a fun pink color at TJ Maxx. Just, yeah, a walk with my husband and going to Burger King. Trying out their veggie burgers. Oh, and then, yeah, this is for the 3rd of April, an entry that I never went back. I penciled it in, but never went back in with a real pen. And maybe I'll just leave it in pencil, I don't know. And just a little snippet of my dad's handwriting. I thought that was quite cute to have just, you know, other people's handwriting in your journal. I think that's going to be quite precious to look back on. Yeah, and then here I didn't add watercolor, but I was taking my dog for an evening walk, and there was just these rabbits in the field with the moon. It was quite melancholic. So I drew it. And there's that character again. This was a fun day because I got lots of happy mail. I got the leather cover from Magdalena. Her shop is called Mansorah Atelier. I can highly recommend. And I'd gotten some new watercolors. You can't really tell, those two browns are from the Schmincke Super Granulating line, so they're, I guess, a little bit more special browns, but they didn't quite do what they're supposed to do on the Tomoe River paper. So, you know, I guess there are limits as to what Tomoe River paper can do with watercolors. Yeah. which is fine. I mean, that's not what this is. This is not a watercolor sketchbook, so that's totally a-okay. Yeah, and then that was getting close to us going back to the States after being in Germany for that visit, and was really sad about it. So there's this cat wistfully looking into the landscape. Some dried flowers from the last walk that I took with my husband and our family dog. I dried those. They look quite cute there. And yeah, again, more Ellie baby pictures. She had just started to smile when we left, which is obviously very cute but heartbreaking. Yeah, when she does that and we have to leave. So that's quite sad. And then I decided to just make a list of moments to remember from that trip, which is just a very brief overview of what I think are moments that stood out to me. I did keep up with my 5-year journal all throughout, so there's lots and lots more and more detailed accounts of some of the things, but I still thought it would be nice to have some, like just a brief snapshot of the time. And then I think I shared this spread on Instagram, but yeah, I came across this post on Instagram that was talking about how everyone always says be your best self or be your highest self, but it's a lot more, what's the word? Interesting to think about being your favorite self. And I was quite taken by that. And so then I decided to make a little list of when I'm my favorite self. I'm my favorite self when. And this was a lot harder to do than I thought it would be. And so I highly recommend that as a journaling prompt. Just write out when you are your favorite self and think about that. And also I really love this sort of border that I created with just these 2 flowers are Erin Ware printables, and then the rest is from PET tapes. And I think that's so cute. I'm definitely gonna do that again. And then here, just a little page coming back to the States, getting ready to move into what's now our home, and being so excited about finally having a place again. And I've decided to go ahead and move into a different journal and to just cut this up, make a new cover for it, make a back for this part. And I just think because this spanned the sort of time that we had in Germany, the beginning of the year, I do feel like now if we are moving into a different season of life with a new rental and it's getting to be summer, I just think I'm done with it. And I miss my Midori paper, I miss the cream. I like the grid, I like how faint it is and everything. I find it a little bit hard to write on it because the grid is so small. So yeah, I'm just gonna cut it and archive this, use the rest for something else or come back to it later. Or like I said, I did want to show you this beautiful leather cover that I recently got from Magdalena from Mansorah Atelier. This is her young poet leather, and it's so beautiful, and I've seen pictures on her Instagram. It's gonna patina so nicely. It gets this really rich brown. It smells so good. It's quite sturdy. It's pretty thick leather. It has this squishy sound, if you can hear that. And it smells so good. Usually I'm not really a scented person, so like I don't do a lot of scented candles or whatnots. But I'm quite surprised just how comforting it is to when you have the journal open, this like smell, and it always smells the same way. It's enriching the experience, I guess. And so it has like this cute little pocket here, which I put this lady into. This is from a printable quite a while ago, but I happen to have this one laminated, so I figured until I find something else to put in here, she's gonna sit in there. And then it has a pocket here, which I put a small little handmade sticker book into. And then I got it with strings and a secretarial pocket in the back. So I might even, once I've cut this up, put the rest in here just as note papers, or if I want to write something out. And then for my new creative journal, I had actually gotten myself this Life B6 journal to try out because I was curious about the paper. I love an off-white paper. I love a little bit of cream. I think it's just so warm and inviting. And again, usually I use a Midori. I love these. They're my tried and true. And so when I got this, I was like, oh my, this is a lot darker than the Midori. I don't know how well it shows up on camera. This is quite a lot more orange leaning, has quite a bit of a red undertone, and it's quite darker than the Midori. So I'm not sure. I think for now I'm gonna go with my trusted Midori insert as my creative journal, and then I'll see. I mean, I definitely will use this for something or another. Yeah, if nothing else, I'm going to use it as a sketchbook. It is fountain pen friendly, and because the paper's, I think, a little thicker than the Midori, it hasn't quite as much not bleed through. It doesn't bleed through, but a little ghosting. It has a little bit less ghosting. So yeah, maybe I'll just turn that into a sketchbook. And speaking of sketchbook, something that my mother gave me while I was visiting family in Germany. Hold on, I'll zoom you out just a little bit so you can see. Is this beautiful journal. This is actually from a store that is in the town I was born in Germany, so that's kind of fun. So it has this beautiful embossed cover. It says journal on it, and then it has all these flourishes in there. It has an open spine, which means it lays flat when you open it. And it has this gorgeous, here, let's get all of this out of the way. Gorgeous cream paper, or creamish. Yeah, it's definitely lighter than the Midori. And I've started using this as just an illustrated journal, I guess. I used to do this a lot more, just drawing from life kind of thing, and I want to get back into it. So as we were staying in a couple places before finding the rental, I drew one of the rooms here and just some other fun things, the view outside one of the windows at an Airbnb, and they had this cute stuffed animal, like a fox in a jockey outfit in the room. So I drew that, and then the other day my husband got me a twig, so I drew that. So that's kind of fun. Like it's bigger than A5, and I think I'm gonna explore, just even if I have smaller scenes, just putting things together on a page and just basically collaging drawings on pages. So yeah, this is sort of new in my lineup as well, and I'm quite excited for this and where it's going. So yeah, I'm sure eventually I'll find something to do with that. And that goes also back to speaking about intentions. I do find that having a clear intention or vision for a notebook helps me to work in it, even if at some point I chop it up. But yeah, that's that's that. That's my little journal flip and notebook update. I'm sure I'm gonna show you what I'm getting up to in this cutie. And yeah, check out all the lovely folks and their art and printables that I'm gonna have linked in the description. And thanks so much for sharing this time with me. And until next time, happy journaling.